Yep, that was great. 'Tis the season of coziness, and what better way to celebrate that with a comfy, sweet little cozy fall makeup look. 4 tries. Okay, that's how many times I've tried to film this intro, and that is the best take I have. What a disaster. I was trying to think like, okay, what makeup look could I do that would fall into that category of fall? I was like, okay, well, I did used to always have this makeup look in my back pocket of like, this was my go-to, this is what I would rock if I wanted something a little spicier. And that's what I'm going to present to you today. I don't believe I've done this before on my channel, but if I have, I sincerely apologize. I do at times have the memory of a goldfish. So my apologies. But yeah, I mean, this makeup look I wouldn't only do for fall. I would do it literally all the time. So I will insert a photo right here if I find one, which hopefully I can. I did want to do this look with makeup that you could actually get your hands on if that was something you were interested in, because the palette I would use for this is no longer available. So not saying you need to buy makeup just for this makeup look, like please do not do that. But if you wanted to treat yourself to something, you know, the makeup that I'll use today is at your palm of your hands. So let's begin, starting with eye primer. I believe I said that this one from NYX was expired. At least that's what I thought. But yet here I am still using the same one. So just begin by giving a very light layer of eye primer. The palette that I'm using today is the Beauty Bay Fiery 2.0. This is exceptional. And that is all you need to know. The look, if you were able to get a visual for, has a lot of oranges. It's really that, right? With like a bit of almost like a little spicy little bit of this color, right? What is that? Fizzy? Yeah, it looks about right. Okay, let's start off with the shade Meringue. And I'm gonna begin popping that right in the crease, extending that on the outer corner as well, because I do want this to be slightly blown out. Let's do some of the shade Bagel, and then I'm gonna dip into Conquer. And again, just working that in a back and forth motion. For the shade Conquer, I believe I initially said I was gonna do that in that crease, but I'm actually gonna do more focus on the inner and outer corner. Okay, now let's dip into the shade Autumn, and I'm gonna run that just along that edge. I do need to get a little more precise on the inner and outer, so I'm gonna try to get something similar to a pencil brush, but I just want something with a little more fluff. Okay, I'm gonna try out this one. I'm not sure if this is gonna work. It might be a little too dense, but let's just see. I'm gonna try out the shade Warm. And it has like a bit of a red undertone to it. So I'm gonna see how this looks against the other shadows. So let's start this off in the inner corner. And I'm just lightly tapping it down. So that way I can like slowly build up that color. Because if I don't like it, I can kind of mask it with other shades. I think I like that. So I'm gonna use that on the outer corner. I'm gonna take the shade Fizzy, and I'm gonna see what that looks like on the center of the lid. I'm hoping it doesn't pull too pink, because if it does, I'm gonna have to do another shade on top to at least get something close to what the original one was. I feel like that is looking pretty similar, I think. So I'm gonna stick with it. Usually I would come back to the eyes, but I kind of just want to like keep working on them and finish them. So I'm gonna do I want a black or a brown liner? I'll do black, but you could use brown as well. So I'm gonna add this to my waterline and also to Tightline. Oh yeah, I like kind of poked my eye. But anyway, I'm back with liner. Crystal or Latte for the inner corner? I'll do Latte. So dabbing this shade right into that inner corner. I'm actually gonna do the shade Crystal because I think it needs a little more pop to really stand out. Now for lashes, same mascara as always, CoverGirl Exhibitionist, and same lashes as well, as a matter of fact. ARDELL Foam Mink Demi Wispies. I'm only gonna place them from the center to the outer corner. This is what the eyes are looking like. I am gonna finish the lower half once I have my face on, just because that is something that like I need to do after I have that done. I am gonna go fill in my brows, just a light little fill of the sparse areas, and then we will do the face. And while the brows are done, I did also add my face primer, just so that I could be nice and prepped for this moment right here. For foundation, I'm gonna do the MILANI Conceal and Perfect and the AURIC Glow Lust. I'm gonna do a mix. I haven't used this MILANI one in a very long time because it's a matte one, and I prefer a dewy finish, but I don't want it to go to waste. So I'm gonna do a 2-to-1, 2 pumps of the AURIC and 1 pump of the MILANI. So usually I start with like this area of my face, and a lot of people will tell you like start in the center and work your way out, mainly because usually like this area tends to be red, like around the nose. It's a very common thing, and while it is red in those areas for myself, I find that almost these areas are even more red. So I like to make sure that I get the most coverage in those spots, and then I can carry on the excess to other areas. And now going in with the MILANI contour. I find buffing this part out with a brush gives me a lot more control. So usually I like start out with this, and then if I feel like I still need a little more blend, then I'll go in with the sponge. Moving on to concealer, I'm going to take the one from LA Girl. I'm going to add this on the inner corner of the eyes, on the outer corner, and down the center of the face. And then go ahead and buff it out. Face is blended, so now we're gonna set it. Let's do a press powder first. Haven't done that in a minute. Begin pressing it in. We don't want to swipe it because that's just gonna disrupt the product that you worked so hard to blend. This is like always the time when I start to feel a little cuter, okay? Like, be honest, all right? You know you get that feeling too. Let's do bronzer. LA Girl Matte Bronzing Duo. That's definitely not what it's called, but it is for today. I'm gonna take a big old fluffy brush and just dust it all over. And I'm letting this product just blend into that eyeshadow. I really don't want there to be like such a harsh separation. In my head, I was like, I want to be really bronzy, but I think my execution was a little too excited because this got a little out of hand. So I'm definitely gonna clean up that jawline, and then I'm gonna do it right under that eye, right under my eye. I think I'll be fine once that works its magic. Fingers crossed. For the lower half of the eyes, I'm gonna do, I believe, just about every single thing I did on the top. Ooh, I actually think I like just the mattes. I'm taking whatever excess I have of that loose powder and running it on top of the bronzer to kind of help diffuse that. Blush, I'm gonna take Spiced Apple from E.L.F. I did add just a tad bit of lower mascara. For highlight, I want something really impactful, so I'm gonna do the one from Beauty Bay. This is in the shade Beam. Just right up onto those cheekbones and down the center of the nose. Okay, now for lips, because they're so dry, I do want to add a gloss onto them, but I want it to be brown, and I don't have that. But what I do have are several lip glosses, all of the nude tone. But I also have this COLOURFIX by DANESSA MYRICKS in the shade Chocolate. So I'm gonna just mix these two on a palette to get a really beautiful chocolatey gloss. But before I do all that, I'm gonna start out with the JUVIA'S lip liner in KOLA. Let's do the Merit lipstick in Slip. I want the center to be even lighter, so I'm actually gonna take just a tad bit of whatever excess I have left over from the concealer and foundation, and I'm gonna pat it right in the center. And now I'm gonna do that little mix to get that gloss. Adding the concealer was kind of pointless because clearly I was still left with a dark lip, which I don't know why I didn't put that together. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. All right, but these are incredible. I really don't use this as much as I should. Every time I do, I'm like, damn, it's so pretty. And it's such a fun product to play around with. I believe that pretty much wraps up this makeup look, and I am feeling it. I love this. I definitely think it screams fall. The lip, that's probably like the thing I'm most excited about, because usually when I have tried to use this as a lip product, I've always kept it just matte, but I do prefer it actually with a gloss mixed into it. I think it just looks a lot more flattering on my lips. This is a winning makeup look in my book. Very happy with it, and I hope you guys are too. That really is all I have to say right now, so I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye. Coffee really got me. Woo. Okay, let me just dig that into my skin. Nobody's business. A good thing it can just patch right up. Or do a